midweek Bible lesson for this week. Just thanking God for the awesome, amazing God that He has been toward us in our life. We come this week and just thanking God for all that He is and all that He does within our life, and He's just so amazing. He still look beyond all of our faults, and He still continually to meet us at every need of our life. We're not here to hold you long on this day, but have your Bibles, 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, verses 8 and verse 9. The Bible records in the New King James Version of the Bible, "We are hard pressed on every side, yet not crushed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. We are persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed." My brothers and sisters, I want to talk to you this day from a subject, wounded but not defeated. My brothers and sisters, a lot of times in this life in which we live, a lot of times we go through life and sometimes we feel that we're in a place of life where we feel down and out. And sometimes it feels like we want to ask ourselves a question, why and how did we get to this place that we're at? But life sometimes seems to have obstacles in the way and places in life that sometimes with the pressure of life make you feel down and out and make you feel that you don't know which way that you need to go. But I want you to understand, my brothers and sisters, as long as you have God on your side, we have to realize that everything will be all right. The Bible did record in Isaiah the 54th chapter, said that no weapon formed against us shall be able to prosper. Wounded, but not defeated. And my brothers and sisters, in the areas of wounded usually mean that you are bleeding. Injured usually mean that you have been hurt physically. But we have to know my brothers and sisters, that there are two different things. My brothers and sisters, we realize that the woman that had the issue of blood, she was wounded and she was bleeding. And my brothers and sisters, and she needed some assistance. And the only assistance she can find in her life was assistance with Jesus. And sometimes, my brothers and sisters, even in our lifetime, sometimes we feel that we are wounded, feel like we are hemorrhaging, and it feel like there's nothing that we can do to stop the pain and the suffering that we're going through. But my brothers and sisters, I want to let you know that even though you might find yourself wounded on this day, I want to let you know you may be wounded, but you're not defeated. Because as long as you got God on your side, we realize that everything will be all right. In this text before us on this day, the Apostle Paul writes of being down but not out. And as believers, my brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, just because we are not, doesn't mean that we have to be out. Just because we're down, it doesn't mean that we have to be out. Hear the words the Apostle Paul that he pens in 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, verse 8 and 9. He said, "We are troubled on every hand, yet not in distress. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed." My brothers and sisters, this what Apostle Paul penned in the 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, verse 8 and 9. It's a testimony of confidence. It says that when we face troubled places in our life, and when we face trials and tribulations within our life, even in the hardest times of life, we can go through battles in our life, and we may feel like we get knocked down sometime, but we have to understand that we don't have to be out. In other words, my brothers and sisters, you can and will rise again. The scripture declares it in the book of Proverbs, the 24th chapter, verse 16, where it says, "A righteous man may fall 7 times, but he gets back up again." So if we are down, my brothers and sisters, I want to let you know that you can get up. Now, the Apostle Paul, as he writes this passage, he writes from an area of Macedonia. We know from Paul's own words to the church at Corinth that this means that a season of great trial and difficulties in his life. We realize, my brothers and sisters, that the Apostle Paul himself, he had some problems in his life, and he was often in prison. 3 times he was beaten with rods. He was stoned and left for dead, and he was shipwrecked 3 times. He was robbed, and Paul knew how what it feel like to be hungry, and he know what it feel like to thirst, and he knew nakedness, and he knew cold. He was falsely accused by his own brethren in the church, and yet in the midst of his trials and tribulation and all the trouble that he went through, the Apostle Paul declares this confidential declaration: "Lo, we may be down, but we are not out." And sometimes, my brothers and sisters, we are down. Sometimes we are pressed, seeing that we are pressed on every side, trouble on every hand. He says we are pressed, we are hard pressed on every side. Under the intense pressure, the world, my brothers and sisters, is full of stress in which we live in to this day. It seems like there's a lot of things that want to press us down in this world, but we have to understand, as long as we have God on our side, we have to realize that everything is going to be all right. Sometimes, my brothers and sisters, it seems like we are up against immense pressures of life, and it feels like we're so pressed in on every corner of our life, and it seems like we have nowhere to turn. It seems like when it rains, it seems like it pours. And sometimes the trouble can be so overwhelming and so suffocating in our life, and it seems like it never lets up. There is one storm, seems like it's one storm after the other. We find ourselves in a place of difficulty in our life. But my brothers and sisters, I want to let you know that Satan's goal, my brothers and sisters, is to try to destroy you. The Bible did declare that Satan, they said in John 10:10, it said, "The thief cometh, but to kill, steal, and destroy." But Jesus said that I have come that you may have life, and have life more abundantly. So I want to let you know, it's Satan plans to try to kill your joy, steal what God has given to you. But I want to let you know, my brothers and sisters, whatever God has for you, it is for you. So Satan's goal is to defeat us, but we can't be defeated as long as we got God on our side. You might have hardships along the way. Don't throw in the towel. You may have to walk through the valley sometime, and sometimes you may have to go on the mountaintop and travel up the rough side of the mountain. But God will be there to pick you up while you're going through your situational life. And even if the enemy think he got you in a place where God can't get you out of, I'm reminded, my brothers and sisters, 1 John 4th chapter in the 4th verse. It declares that greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. And I want to let you know, as long as you got Jesus in you, he is not going to allow you to be defeated by the enemy. In other words, my brothers and sisters, all you got to do is just hold on to God's unchanging hand. God just got a way of bringing you throughout every situation that you may find yourself in your life. So you have to understand, my brothers and sisters, you are never left alone. God is always there with you. You are not deserted, because God will be there for you. Proverbs 18 chapter in the 24th verse says that he is a friend that sticks closer than any brother. In other words, my brothers and sisters, when everybody else walk away from you, God will always be there. When everybody else turn their back on you, God will still be there with you. All you got to do is just trust and lean and depend on him, and everything will be all right. Because I know when you find yourself in a situation, you may find yourself by yourself, but I want to let you know God is always there with you. My brothers and sisters, he'll never leave you nor forsake you. His name is nobody than Jesus. Jesus will be there for you. He's the 4th man in the fiery furnace. He's the one that can shut the lion's mouth while you're in a lion's den situation. He's the one that parts the Red Sea so you may be able to walk through on dry land. God is a way maker. God, a way maker in the wilderness. He'll make a way. You might be wounded, my brothers and sisters, but you don't have to be defeated. My brothers and sisters, when you find yourself in these situations of life, of going through these trials and tribulations of life, and you feel like you've been bruised and battered, you have to understand that God will be with you while you're going through. And while you find yourself going through this situation of life, the 121st numbers of Psalm verse 1 said, "Look to the hills that which cometh all of your help, and knowing that your help comes from the Lord." My brothers and sisters, I want to let you know, and sometimes this life that we live in can leave us in places in life where we feel like we're not able to go another step. We get ready to throw in the towel. But I would just want to let you know, encourage your heart on this day. The enemy has a way of playing on your mind, but God has a way of playing on your heart to let you know that even though you're going through, find yourself in situations of life, that God said you'll be able to get through anything that you're going through in your life. Because as long as you got God in your life, great is He that's in you than he that is in the world. The Apostle Paul know who God was. The Apostle Paul know that God would make a way. The Apostle Paul know as long as he kept his hand in God's hand, that everything will be all right. So I come to let you know, my brothers and sisters, as long as you keep your hands in God's hand, that everything is going to be all right. Just keep looking up to Him. God is able to make a way where it seemed like there is no way. There's a songwriter, my brothers and sisters, that sung a song and penned it good. The songwriter said we have to learn and to lean and depend on Jesus, because I find out that He will provide. My brothers and sisters, I don't know who I'm talking to on this day that feel like you're at the end of the rope and you can't hang on anymore. What I want to let you know, my brothers and sisters, as long as you got Jesus in your life, you ain't got to worry about He'll hold you in the palm of His hand. He'll give you strength where it seems like you have weakness in your life. When you find yourself wounded and you feel like you can't go another step, all you got to do is ask Jesus to be the strength for you. Be your hands, be your mouth, and be everything that He needs to be for you in order for you to be able to get to where you need to be. It's one thing that I learned, my brothers and sisters, the devil might come as a thief. He come to kill, steal, and destroy. But one thing I like about God, Jesus said that I come that you may have life and may have life more abundantly. And I don't know about you, my brothers and sisters, I stand to tell the devil he is a liar. He have no power. He have no authority. God says in the word, He said when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Bible said the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. So, Father, I ask you to lift up that standard right now. When these people that are wounded and feel like they're about to go under, feel like a prize fighter that have got knocked down to their knees and now they give them an 8 count. But all you got to do is just rise up again. All you got to do is rise up and stand up and know that you can't be defeated. As long as you got God on your side, you can't be defeated. Paul knew that. Paul said, even though I'm going through these trials and tribulations, even though I'm hard pressed on every side, even though I'm perplexed, even though I'm persecuted, even though I'm struck down, Paul knew that God was with him, because as long as you got the strength in your body to trust, lean, and depend on God, I just declare, my brothers and sisters, that God can make a way for you where it seems like there's no way. So if you're trying to fight this battle all by yourself, just know, my brothers and sisters, the battle does not belong to you. The battle belongs to the Lord. All you got to do is stay steadfast, unmovable, always abiding in the work of the Lord, and God will be there for you. He'll hold your hand. He'll walk right beside you. He'll lead you. He'll guide you in everything you needed to do. And when the enemy tell you it's over, God just put a comma and just keep writing. You ain't got to worry about. You may be wounded. You may be down. You may have to slow down every now and then, but just don't quit. Ain't no Christians out there shouldn't be quitting in this race of life, because the race is not given to the swift, nor is it given to the strong. It's given to the ones that just hold out until the end. You may be wounded, my brothers and sisters. Just hold on. I'm reminded, my brothers and sisters, of a fight I saw some years ago. The boxer, he was winning the fight just as clear as he can be. But then he messed around and he got wounded. He got hit and he took a blow that almost knocked him out. I want to let you know, my brothers and sisters, sometimes the enemy can put a blow on you, but it feel like you're almost about to be able to be knocked out. But I want to let you know, my brothers and sisters, all you got to do is just stay trusting in God. You may be wounded, just get to the end. The Bible says that they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up as wings of an eagle, run, not get weary, and walk and not faint. As long as you trust, lean, and depend on God, I just declare that God will make everything all right. God bless your heart on this day. I hope this word help you in your situation of life. We know we're going through some trying times and right now in life, but I'm just so glad that I serve a God that's able to take me through all of these trying times in life. And the same God that's taking me through is the same God that can get you through. All of us get wounded sometimes, but none of us has to be defeated. God bless your heart on this day. May this word bless you, and we look forward to seeing you next time.